getting on the show. Did you apply? Did they find you? I know with Chef Michael said that they just found them online. Like how did you get an opportunity originally
So
for season 5?
when I did season 5, I was engaged at the time. So, my fiance at the time, she came to me and she was like, "Hey, you should do MasterChef." And I'm like, "What's that?" You know what I mean? I'm like, "What's that?" She was like, "It's a show with Gordon Ramsay." So I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I was like, "Let's Google, let's YouTube it. Let me check it out, see what it's about." So she YouTubed and she showed me. And I was like, "Oh, hell nah. People went to culinary school. You know what I mean? I ain't never went to no culinary school. I'm self-taught. So she was like, "No, like you really can cook. Just try out. You look good. So why not just try out? That's just an extra." So I'm like, I guess you know what you're talking about because, you worked in that, you should be an actress. You worked in the industry of TV and whatever it may be. So you obviously know what producers look for. You have the eye for it because you've been in this type of business. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So she comes home one day and she has the application. And I was like, "Yo, what's this?" She said, "Well, I figure I filled this out for you." So I'm like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, you're going to go do the show tomorrow. They want you to come tomorrow. That's when the audition is." I was like, "Well, thank you for the heads up." I said, "But I don't even know what the hell I'm going to make. So, like, I don't know what I'm making." So she was like, "Well, just think of something. Just think something different." So I was like, "All right, whatever." So that day, within seconds, I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do something different because I know everybody's gonna come downtown New Orleans with gumbo, etouffee, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a po' boy, fried shrimp, maybe a crawfish bread, whatever." So I was like, "I'm gonna make a Creole crawfish and andouille lasagna." She was like,
Have you done that
"Yeah?"
before?
Hell no, that was my first time making it. Right? So she was like, "That sounds good." She's like, "You really do make great lasagnas." I was like, "All right, well, this is gonna be a little bit different." So I made a lasagna. We go downtown. Well, before we go downtown, I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And no. We go downtown and I walk in and there was a table of like 3 individuals. So they was like, "Hey man, what you prepared?" So I took the lid off the lasagna, right?
Yeah.
And they was like, "Oh shit!" Like the smoke came out and everything. So I'm thinking, God is next to me. He's making all this happen. You know what I mean? So the little smoke steam come out of it. You could smell it. It was like, "Oh my God, this smells so good." So I was like, "Yeah," I said, "Yeah, it does smell good." So he was like, "Man, what is it?" So I told him, I said, "Yeah, this is crawfish Creole lasagna with andouille sausage." He was like, "Wow." He was like, "All right, man, just go sit to the side. Here's your number. We're gonna call you in the room, and we're gonna go from there." Boom. They call us in the room. So I'm like, "All right." Mind you, everybody quiet.
Yeah.
Everybody, even the judges. These regular the culinary judges and the people that was in there that was trying out. So I was like, "What's up? How y'all doing?" Personality. Because
Yeah,
one thing I do know
100%.
about TV, personality is
Yeah.
key ingredient.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What's up?" And everybody was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Whoa. So the chef comes on. He was like, "Hey, how you doing, man? I like your personality." I said, "I like yours too." So I was like, "I like yours too." So he says to me, he was like, "What you got?" I said, "Man, I got lasagna." He was like, he tasted it. He said, "Wow, this is really, really good." And it has that kick at the end.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, what's up with that kick?" I said, "Just a little bit of cayenne, cayenne pepper." So he was like, "Man, let me ask you a question." He was like, "Man, how old are you?" I said, 26. He says, "You have kids?" I said, "Yeah, I have a son." He said, "How old is he?" I said, "He's 3." And then he says, "Well, listen, man, you got to leave. If you got to leave and go to California for a few months, how would you feel about not speaking with your son or your family or whatever it may be?" So I said, "Yo, they got Skype, right? We can Skype, can we?" So he started laughing. So he was like, "Okay." And he walked away and went to the next person. So once we got to me, dumping out the rest of the food that was on the plate into the trash, the young lady says, "Great. We have the 2 of you." It was me and this young lady that was there. Like, "We have the 2 of you." And I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, what you mean?" She was like, "You made it to the next round." I said, "What? Stop playing." She was like, serious, you made it to the next round. So I go outside. I tell the young lady at the time I was saying, I say, you take this lasagna, and if anybody asks you for any lasagna, you make sure you give it to them. I don't care who they are. She was like, why? I said, because they just told me I can go to the next round. So we're going to cut the story short. Get in the room. I meet a young lady named Yaz. She's like, we're going to play a game. You got to answer 3. You got to answer all 3 questions. Best out of 3 goes to the next round. So I'm like, all right, well, I only answer 1 out of 3. So she was like, I'm just playing. And she says, I want you to go out there and tell them that we need you here in the morning. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go out there and I tell them, I say, yo, they say y'all need me here early in the morning. So she says to me, okay. She looked at a paper. We don't have any more slots. I said, wow. So I go back and I go tell the young lady, I said, they say they don't have any more slots. She said, what? Hold on. So she got up. One of the producers got up, went out there. She says, okay. She comes back to me. She said, Christian, we need you here at 8:30 in the morning. I said, what? I said, okay. You know what I mean? So I realized right there that they took a liking to me. You know what I mean? Because they jumped me from everybody else that tried out for me to see me first.
Yeah.
Right? So I get there next morning, get up in the morning, brush my teeth. I put on that Meek Mill Dreams Turn Nightmares and Dreams. I guess what is it called? Dreams and Nightmares. You know, I used to think about times like this, ride like this, you know. So I'm geeked. I'm like, hell yeah. So I get to the hotel and they say, you gotta come up to the room. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I come up to the room. I shit you not, bro. I'm looking for the room. I couldn't find the room. So it's like I was going in the maze. So as soon as I get to the other floor, I walk in the room, the door was cracked. As soon as I walk in the room, all you see is 4 women in pajamas. I said, if my fiance knew I was in this room with y'all, we won't even be doing this show. And that right there is what really broke the ice and got me comfortable to talk to them, to get whatever they need, for whatever producers to see whatever. And then it was all she wrote. You know, went on the show, did my thing, went all the way to top 5. And yeah, the rest is history.